podcast number 2 of Bitch Sesh,
a Real Housewives breakdown. We're here.
We're back.
We did it. We made it to episode 2.
Guys, all we can say is thank you for listening, for your support.
The Twitter and Instagram support has been amazing.
Phenomenal.
You people don't have lives like us, and this is what you're doing. You choose to do with your lives.
A lot of you reported you'd never seen an episode of The Housewives, yet we're listening.
I'm so proud of you. Welcome to our world.
And I have to say, and we are not ones to ever brag, but our podcast did very well and was in fact above Christine Omnipour's,
who is a journalist with integrity.
But I'm glad that all the riffraff was kind of pushed to the side.
It's like we get enough of her on CNN. Do we really need more?
Yeah, she's had enough accolades. I mean, it's time for the real news to find its way to the forefront.
The important news that people are talking about and listening to.
And I want to say a very special thank you, if I may, from the bottom of my heart, because I feel like everyone listening, I was a little scared to do this podcast because I have some thoughts that are tough.
Strong opinions on many of these real human beings with thoughts and feelings.
And called for a dog to be put down last week. But the thing is, what I really appreciate about our fans, and it was like instinctive. It was like everyone knew to keep this all between ourselves. Yeah. Not one person, not one single solitary goddamned soul tagged one of the housewives with one of our nasty, nasty comments.
I am so proud of you, listeners.
Thank you, because to be honest, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I'm also scared of them.
Oh, I am petrified. If one of them even looked at me askance, I would cry and crawl into a hole, bury myself there. Hopefully the earth would swallow me.
And it lets us do what we need to do, which is just give fearless feedback in the moment. As you all know, we flip-flop about all these women constantly.
No, I have new opinions on them all every single week, from hate to love to
I know. Last week
Eileen.
I was turned on Heather Dubrow, and then just tonight I'm drinking champagne and thinking of her fondly.
And last week I turned on Candy Breast, and in this last week's episode of Atlanta, she redeemed herself in a way that she is high on my list again. So we waver, and so we don't want our opinions to go to them. Week to week, they change.
God bless you all for knowing that.
Yeah.
And in your bones.
Yes. You all instinctively are intelligent, beautiful people. As we said last week, we only want the beautiful people listening.
And I think you are.
Not even inside, outside.
Let's actually get to some of your Twitter responses to us about our question that we posed, which is, who is the hottest house husband? Wow. A lot of you said Apollo.
Yeah. A lot of... You are into the bad boy criminal that would rip off old people.
And will need to keep his ski-doos in your garage.
Yes. And was then showing them off at Candy Burress's and Todd's house.
I think it's Burress.
All right. Well, I'll call her what I'll call her.
Burress.
I did go to elementary school with her, but that's a story for another day.
That day has come.
I don't remember her, but my girlfriend said that she was in her class. And so I am from Atlanta, Georgia. And I grew up there until I moved to Boca Raton, Florida, which is actually the home of Aileen 2, the first Aileen 2.
Okay, this is an update. Update from last week. A lot of you brought us a lot of information, based on, I was sent by someone, a Hamptons public access show that Countess Luann was on years ago. Yes. Just a lot of information flooded in, and Danielle found this tidbit.
My sister, who lives in Boca Raton, Florida, still said
I guess that's not really a fan.
So it's not really a fan, but she's a fan of the show. She listened and loved. And she said that Aileen 2 started in Boca Raton. So she was just an Aileen
Which
also.
Seems about right for Aileen 2.
Yeah, perfect. Lots of caftans. That's the birthplace of caftans, obviously. And that Kyle saw the store there and was like, I love this store. I need it. Slapped her name on it.
Aileen 2 too.
And then now it's Kyle with Aileen 2 and Aileen 2. So
and it's also Aileen.
Aileen. Well, you're right. Aileen is...
Burress,
I can't
Aileen,
get any
Aileen.
of it straight, but my love is clear.
And we will get into it later, but Ken's assessment of Kyle's wardrobe being only muumuus is...
dead on.
Now that we know that the birth barn of Kyle's wardrobe is Boca Raton...
I think it all makes sense.
It really is.
But back to our some of your husbands. Here's some other... Besides Apollo, which... just a huge amount of you were into Apollo.
Well, I will say that... a woman or man by the name of Shlomo Cohen.
I'm going to say man.
My pick for Dilfia's husband is shocker, and shocker alert. He didn't write that, but I'm saying it. Paul Nassif.
What?
He says, I'm a sucker for a back rug.
Paul
Nassif?
Oh my God, that is
shocking.
A bold statement. But I feel like I hear you. I hear your love.
Okay. Pat Bauer says Terry Dubrow looks like Ruth Buzzy and Eddie's the hottest house husband.
That's true. Eddie is very hot. And he works out constantly. No time for his wife anymore.
I don't know that when Eddie was like, I won't take care of Ryan, and we'll discuss Ryan at another juncture.
Yeah, but
remember when Ryan got that tattoo on his tongue?
Yeah. Well, Ryan's made some poor choices, and Ryan also has, he's a new father with no job and a hairline that is going away fast.
A tattoo will last forever and a hairline we must bid adieu to.
Goodbye.
I feel like they took Ryan and threw him into the deep end. He threw himself into the deep end.
He threw himself.
Remember when he used to work for her old husband at the car dealership?
Yeah, well, I thought it was the old husband that had the problems. He worked at Fletcher Jones.
No,
Mercedes.
Oh,
I believe.
Fletcher Jones.
Yeah. Okay, a few more real quick.
Sure. Lanny B. Mm-hmm. Lanny B says, hottest husband, totally Apollo. He's a criminal, but aesthetically pleasing.
All true.
Taylor Golden says, hottest house husband, the very underrated Chris Loretta. He has to deal with teenage Ashley.
That is true. Chris is a heart of gold and a face of yuck. Is my assessment. I'm so
tough.
Sorry. That was tough.
It's tough.
Don't tag him.
It's tough. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Danielle, not our Danielle, says, so good. Eddie for hottest house husband.
Oh, 2 for Eddie.
2 for Eddie. Brody Clark says this is controversial. Hottest house husband is Heather T's Mark Ruffalo looking husband. I want to say his name is Jonathan. You're correct.
I agree. I think he is very good looking. I think he's sweet. I think he lets her lead the relationship.
He's a shorter gentleman.
If he's 5'5", if he's a day.
But he's very nice.
Yes. Lovely and handsome.
Now, my favorite house husband, I know I said someone different last week, but it was as though I knew I had already said my top choice, but I hadn't. Mm-hmm. David Bador.
Oh, Casey, I can't even look at you when you say things like that because it's like I don't know you. He is a cheater.
So he blew the 50th birthday and took her to a wing spot.
A sports bar.
Well, that was horrible that their twin daughters are like, Mommy.
Why are you so unhappy, Mommy?
It's so
Such
upsetting.
a dark, dark birthday.
I mean,
and you still love him. You deserve more.
I think he's hot.
You deserve more, Casey.
Okay.
So those were our hot husband choices.
They sure are. And now we're going to do a very quick news segment.
Yes. Well, Casey and I, many years ago, went to visit Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant, Villa Blanca. We were so excited. We went for a friend's birthday. We were all just so excited to go to this palace.
I recall it was like a wasteland. I thought we were going to be rubbing elbows with the glitterati.
No one was there. And everything was in white. And that is a bold choice when you are full of stains and flies and dirt. It was kind of a weird, but I just remember there being stains and the food not being
great.
Kind of what we were looking for. But people do love it. So we decided to go on Yelp to see kind of what other people had to say about it, because I've also heard people loving it. And on the show, it looks gorgeous.
Well, it's a setting for a lot of the goings on.
Yeah, a lot of the drama takes place.
I'll start. This is a review from Adela K. Mm-hmm. 2 stars. She says simply, bathroom was filthy. First time we went in, there was no toilet paper in either stall. We told the hostess to take care of it. Too late for us. Wow. We used the restroom a second time before leaving. They had toilet papers in one of the stalls, but no paper towels. No sanitary seat covers. Trash was overflowing. Used tampons, quote, fully used, were in plain view. Pretty disgusting. Wow, Adela.
Wow, fully used tampons as opposed to those
fully used. Yeah, I guess it was those were a regular... not a super absorbency or something. That was regular.
Just a regular, a slim. A
slim pond full of blood.
This next review is from Hannah, 1 star. Oh, so this is not great. But my boyfriend and I waited for more than 40 minutes for our food to arrive. Our waitress looked like an actress, and she certainly did not fit the part of being a waitress. She seemed aloof and didn't know what she was doing. Well, that was your opinion. We almost left without getting our food because the wait was so long. The ladies' bathrooms were dirty and stinky.
What's happening in there?
Most of the time, you can tell how the establishment is maintained by looking at the bathroom.
This is so nasty that we're reading these. Okay, this next review comes from 3 stars. The inside,
3 stars. This is a good one. Nice one.
The inside is white, of course, with Italian flair. Mm-hmm. They could use some flair in the bathroom, though, and spruce it up since it shows a lot of wear and tear.
What does that mean in a bathroom, wear and tear?
I think that's more commentary on the tampons. A lot of wear and tear in areas, and it is just not very nice. We came for a glass of wine and appetizers. I had the calamari. Nice sidebar.
Yeah.
She says good.
Oh, okay.
Except the bathroom. Noticing lots of talks about the unsanitary bathrooms on here.
And that was what said. That was not a Casey aside. Mm-hmm. Okay, then there is last one. We'll just read. Letty, F, 1 star. I had high expectations with this restaurant, but unfortunately I had to say that this is almost the worst place I've ever been. Our server was awful. She pretty much forgot that we were there. The food was okay, but the truffle risotto was overwhelming. Why were you so...
That sounds good.
Yeah, I was like, and the bread was stale. Okay. The worst part that everything, the chairs, table, and menu was extremely dirty, and the woman's bathroom had no toilet paper and smelled super bad. Wow.
Okay. That's tough.
So
it just feels like if they do a little cleaneroo in the women's bathrooms, that it could do a world of difference.
Yeah, just put some toilet papers in the holders and Febreze a little bit.
Few paper towels and maybe some clean tampons.
And the calamari is great, guys.
The calamari is good. She said.
Okay.
Quickly, very small sidebar. I went with my friend Jason McAuliffe to celebrate a very big career accomplishment in his life with some friends to Pump. It looks like a Michael's craft store exploded. It is just bedazzles, crystals, and like branches and lights and just and they're hanging in your face and people are standing up and knocking into branches. Like, it's so overdone.
But that's kind of Lisa.
And I had a great time. I would go back.
I wonder if she's sort of ignoring Villa Blanca in order to kind of do Pump. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if she's taken...
We're about to get to the episode, but a lot of you have written in and asked if Danielle and I would discuss Vanderpump Rules at any point. And to that I say, shocker, I've never seen one episode.
I have seen parts. I accidentally saw an episode of Pump because they sort of like segued into it, and I was like, "Wait, what am I watching?"
I was confused for a second.
Yeah, and every once in a while, I stumble upon it, and I know there's someone named Stassi, but that's really
okay. Now I know you guys are upset, but I would like to make a personal vow for the new year, which is come January 1st, I'll be caught up.
Oh yeah, really? That's a bold statement.
I'd like to challenge you.
You were a mother of a young child. How are you going to catch up?
6 months.
Okay.
I can do it. I will be ready.
Okay.
And I'd like to discuss it if you can join me in the pact.
I rise to your challenge.
Let's get to our guest.
Yes. I'm so excited about this guest.
Me too.
As I was last week as well.
Our guest, Danielle.
Yes. He is a senior editor at Buzzfeed, my paper of record, I will say that. And he has his own podcast called, it is called AfterSmash. It is about the TV show Smash. We are so excited to have him here. Please welcome Louis Peitzman.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Louis Peitzman, welcome. Also a Housewives super fan.
Super fan,
yes.
And I've met you, but this is our first time we're kind of breaking bread, discussing.
Yeah, it's our first real interaction.
Yeah.
And you're in my home.
And you're in the nook.
And I'm loving the wallpaper.
God bless, guys. It's pear wallpaper.
I love it.
What an episode.
I've been you are always great at tweeting. You tweet a lot about the Housewives. And so it makes me laugh all the time. So we really wanted to.
And I full on asked to be invited on the show because I'm a monster.
I know, but I was glad you asked because
I won't lie. I was shocked we gave you our second spot, but I'm happy you're here now that it's happened.
Yeah,
appreciate the honesty.
No, I'm so happy you're here. What a snooze fest this episode was.
Second episode of the season, guys.
It's almost worse than the first because I think I was like, okay, growing pains with the reboot, it would be okay for the first one to be slow, but there's no excuse for episode 2 to be.
I mean,
we're watching Kyle and Lisa drive in a Ferrari.
We're checking out a medicine cabinet. What is happening?
Well, that was fascinating to me.
That actually, sorry,
really?
Danielle. That was the highlight. I thought that was the height of action.
Really?
We went to Palm Springs to see the Walk of Fame, Palm Springs.
Yes. Can I say, I love Dick Van Patten. I think he is a sweet man. I don't know him, but was. Yes, thank you. The Palm Springs Walk of Fame
tread lightly, Danielle.
Dubious. I'm just going to say when his star is near.
Well, I remember when Lisa got her star, and they were like, Lisa. She was like, I'm getting a star on the. She was like on the Walk of Fame in Palm Springs, and that was a horrible accent, but it was just such a long pause before in Palm Springs.
Isn't there one in Studio City too? Like in front of Deli?
Yes, right by Nate Now's, and I'm happy. That's my dream personally. That's
right.
If I could
so
achieve
sad.
that.
I want to like slap my
There's Culver City has a Walk of Fame.
I gotta say, if you have a star in Culver City, wow. And look, I don't have one star. Culver City is just...
But you'd rather have no
where
stars.
dreams go to die.
But yes, it was a real snooze fest this time. And of course, there's Ken taking shots again, as we kind of said at Kyle's wardrobe. That was Ken, who we found out today is only 70.
I thought Ken was 1 million. And
is 1,000.
As our assistant Karen, who's here with us helping, she says Ken's giving 0 fucks this year.
Yes,
it's true. He's getting a lot shadier though, and I'm kind of like his next health scare will not be as sad for us.
No,
he's
and
not winning any friends.
That wasn't a real health scare.
And
Was it
he's not
last time? It was just
influencing
like
any
a hurt hip or something.
It was like
I
he's
can't
old.
remember. Yeah.
Well,
But again,
he clearly
he's
breaks
not.
his back again when he bounces off that Baja
They
shelf.
showed us that again.
I can't wait.
And then they have everyone rushing towards him. Are you okay, Ken? He's sort of like underwater drowning.
Yeah, like he doesn't lift his head. It's very upsetting. They're also using a filter for Ken. It seems. It seems
for
like
all
in
of
Lisa's
them.
house, like a filter's gone on.
I think there's just a filter in Lisa's house.
That's true.
I feel like there's just a constant filter in her house.
I mean, nothing is really happening in this episode, but it is a downer big time.
yes.
I mean, I feel like it was just heavy. We've got,
Lisa.
Dickie. We've got Eileen's sister, which was so sad. We've got Yolanda in a dental office, but it feels like a major surgery. We've got Lisa's mom, Lois's update, and then Yolanda's, as I mentioned, the white gold crowns. I'm bummed.
Yeah, and also Lisa talking to her father. Lisa Rinna
penis.
talking about it to his father about his penis. That was dark. That was sad.
And laughing when he fell backwards.
Oh yeah, they played that video like it was America's Funniest Home Video. They're like, "Isn't this funny?" When my
wasn't
father
a good
falls
fall.
down.
No, it was neither funny nor compassionate to his obvious decline.
And I love Lisa Rinna. She is a bright spot in, I think, some dark stuff.
And you mentioned just on a fashion note, Danielle, that what is going on with the fashions? Like New York women are turning it out. Atlanta, I've got something to look at.
Yes. The Beverly Hills, like turn it. You are from Beverly Hills. Act like it and dress like it.
Oh, wow. Danielle,
Sorry.
you're wearing a gray heather tee.
I know. I am
And
not
I
from Beverly
love-
Hills.
think
I am
you
in the
look
valley
gorgeous.
and I look like I live in the valley. But these people live in 90210. Get it together.
It's a shock.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyle has this like very little girl thing. It's like pinks and purple. She was wearing a purple windbreaker in one scene in a interstitial call to Lisa about Nikki's wedding.
Oh, that's
and
something.
those long flowing locks. It's very infantile.
Yeah, and Lisa
I'm attracted to her, but it's infantile.
You are attracted to her. You have told me many
She's
times
gorgeous.
that you would
Kyle Richards.
have sex
Yes,
with her.
she's
She loves
beautiful.
Kyle. I love Lisa Rinna. I like her fashion choices. I love her hair. Even
You
though
like those long grown out
I do.
sideburns?
I love them. I love everything about her. I think she looks terrific. Of course, like she's very thin. I think she could put on some pounds, but I also feel like she's beautiful. She dresses well. I think she's a star.
I like that she does a monologue every time she speaks.
Yes.
She's like full on performing. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about one very big shocker this season, which is that Kyle was not invited to Nicki Hilton's wedding. Well, was invited and then uninvited.
And then re-invited.
And then re-invited, but without her children, or with some of her children, handpicked.
Handpicked. So we had to do a little digging because we were very confused as to how many children do they all have. Sidebar, is Maurizio sleeping with Farrah? Anyway, so we concluded that they have 4 daughters. Farrah, not by,
Not by Maurizio,
right,
by with.
fine. Although he's very much taken her under his wing. And love Portia, although Louis, you mentioned.
Well, I think Portia's like a little Melania in training. She could be the next Melania.
Yeah, which is
So,
good and terrifying.
Good for gifts and good for like our enjoyment, but bad for the parents and bad for the future of humanity.
Yes.
100%. Well, I thought mistakenly, and I apologize for this, I thought Farrah was the one that had gotten her arm bitten by Kingsley's hand. But in fact,
Kingsley, this is Kim's pit bull that Casey called to be put down last week.
She's not wrong.
No.
she's out of control.
Yes.
But Karen, of course, researched that it was Alexia.
Who almost lost a finger.
almost lost a finger, and she was conveniently not invited to the wedding. That something's going on there major. Obviously, something's also going on with Hilton and Highland, Rick Hilton's real estate company, and Maurizio runs the agency, which is like the #1 real estate firm in Beverly Hills.
And let's not forget the Warner Brothers TV show that Kyle is writing about the family.
See,
that
have you submitted a packet?
I have submitted a packet. I have not heard back, but you know, okay. I feel like it'll happen in time.
What is that show even going to be about? Because she's not going to talk about her sister being an alcoholic or the fact that is it going to be...
Whatever it is, it scares Kathy Hilton to her core.
I feel like it's going to be so boring. I mean, yeah.
I mean, as far as I know, I don't read the trades, but I don't know if it's going to pilot, as they call in the...
Let's say probably not, but, you know.
But it was bought, it was picked up by a real company, Warner Brothers.
The thing that was bugging me the most though about Kyle is like you're saying, she keeps saying no one can understand the dynamic between Rick and Maurizio, and it's nobody's fucking business. It's like, yes... You're on a reality show.
I mean,
You've made it our business.
Andy Cohen said it best when Ramona was giving him shit about asking questions, and he was like, when I'm on a reality show, I will tell you my business because that's what you do. And what was annoying about Kyle is she was like, she told Lisa she was uninvited, and then she seemed kind of like annoyed with Lisa for asking what had happened when she was reinvited. Like Lisa was confused, rightfully so.
As were we all.
And then Kyle was kind of like, it's my business. And I'm like, you asked me to bring a dress. You made a big, and then you said no dress. You made a big thing about not being invited. And
then I'm sorry, 2 children were invited and 2 not. Like, even if Kingsley bit the hand of a child, let's not forget, you still invite those children. It's something.
I wonder if Kingsley's invited to the wedding.
Kingsley is the ring bearer.
Kingsley is officiating. Mm-hmm. Why is Kathy siding with Kim? What's going on?
I don't know.
Because she's kind of a damaged bird. I think Kathy's ruling the roost for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Terrified of Kathy.
I feel like Kathy and Kim had like a party relationship when Kim was drunk, and Kyle did the cleanup. That's my theory. And so Kathy's like, I miss my fun time party sister. Love Kim. Whereas Kyle was like, I'm dealing with the damage of like my sister's alcoholism.
Wow. That is profound.
That's my theory.
Well, it was weird when Kyle said, we never went on a vacation when we were little. I'm like, in that whatever happened to Baby Jane childhood, they never went.
Well, only for work. So locations. Yeah. I mean, like locations is,
And I wonder if, because I've never heard tell of Kathy being a child star.
No. Why was she left out?
I feel like Kathy's
she was older, right?
Yeah, but like she's ruling with an iron fist. Like, you girls might have been the child stars, but I married this red-faced bloat named Rick Hilton.
And part of the Hilton dynasty.
Indeed.
And I do believe, and those Hilton girls were big for a while too. So I think she held that over them. Like, look at my daughters, look at these stars. And now, the stars have fallen.
They couldn't get Paris to come on Real Housewives Beverly Hills. I mean, she wouldn't do it.
But now she showed up at Eileen too.
Yeah, she showed up at that opening real quick.
She's probably ain't going to be on the show, like regular. You never know. Remember when Kathy was going to be a regular? There was a rumor about that.
When I heard that, that's what we need.
Yeah, I would really like some Kathy she could bounce this show back, because right now it's Snoozeville. The biggest thing that happened. Let's talk about Lisa Vanderpump's eyelashes. They were like Latisse gone wrong. It was insane.
I know. Isn't Latisse gone wrong though when you get it on your skin, like not, and it like starts growing hair? Because that happens.
What?
Yeah, you can get it if you like put it on like your cheek. You grow like eyelashes on your cheek.
No, Louis.
What?
I'm telling you, this happened.
People aren't growing eyelashes.
I feel like we would see a lot more eyelashes on cheeks if that were the case.
I read it on the internet. It's definitely happened.
Wow. I mean, I felt this episode was so boring. We have like a comic moment with Maurizio and his Ferrari, and they're giving us the timestamp on the screen as though this is just, we're howling with laughter that 15 minutes have gone by.
Yeah, it builds to nothing. Then Maurizio shows up, no one's mad. It's just like, I got a little lost. If Kyle had been here, it would have been a real angry time. Or, it's like he just was like, it fell flat.
It was boring even by car commercial standards. Like, it was just a dull slog through a gorgeous countryside.
Yeah, Italy is beautiful, but they made Italy boring.
But I asked you guys, like, why is this vibrant young family want to hang out with like Lisa and Ken on their vacation? It just seems so awkward.
Lisa seems fun.
Really, yeah, but what are the kids going to do?
But
I'm sorry, I'm in a nasty place tonight, guys.
Let's talk a little bit more about Yolanda too.
Ooh. Speaking of a nasty place,
yeah,
I lean to Yolanda too.
Yolanda too. That small efficiency that she is, that efficiency apartment that she is hiding out.
When Eileen said, not Aileen too. When Eileen said, when I went over to Yolanda's, condo. She took a pause because she didn't know how to label those 4 walls. She didn't know what to say.
It almost looks like an office building that she's moved a bed into.
It looks like Miracle Mile, kind of room on like the 7th floor of like a 42-story building.
It's dark stuff, and she is going through some health problems that are very scary
So
and very
dark.
sad.
It's so dark.
Very, I don't know. I'm just saying there were some questions raised in this episode.
Well, things got weird that have nothing to do with the Lyme's disease, that have to do with her fillings being made of mercury.
When you start talking about, no, listen, when you start talking about like metals in your body, it's like up there with chemtrails. Like you're just spouting nonsense. This is conspiracy theory weirdness. And I just have to say, like, I'm not denying that she had a serious health problem at one point and maybe still does. I'm just saying, if you see 100 doctors and you get all these weird treatments, like you're going to cause more problems than you're going to fix. Like, I don't think it's healthy to be taking all those pills.
I think her advocate might disagree with us.
There is a new housewife, which is Yolanda's health advocate.
We don't know her name. We just know that it's her advocate. And she also opens the doors. I knew she was her health advocate, and I understand her going to like appointments, but why is she like opening the door, showing Yolanda will see you now? It seems sort of like
I have a theory, and look, I want to just say for the record, I believe she has Lyme's disease, and it sounds like something else. I mean, something's obviously, I think, terribly, terribly wrong. But just to Kyle's point about depression, I did wonder, looking back, is like, because obviously she's probably going through this separation with David. It seems like, I mean, he's nowhere to be found in the efficiency.
Well, except for that one time. Well,
we'll get to that. We will get to that. But is she possibly unraveling due to her divorce from her king?
I would say that is. I wouldn't be surprised if that were part of it.
On top of some major sickness.
Yes,
I'm not saying
I think
she doesn't have anything.
that there is something to be said for going through depression and going through something traumatic and having it affect you physically. I do believe that.
Well, and how about the digs that Kyle and Lisa took at her? They're like, I mean, she has nothing in her life to be stressed about.
I know.
And then they're like, but I guess basically Kyle was like, Lisa gives her something to do. That's basically the gist of what she said.
This is her new job.
They're also heinous.
As they're in the countryside with nothing to do.
Well, I mean, listen, I was thinking about The Simpsons, as I often do, because Miss Hoover on The Simpsons thought she had Lyme disease, and it was psychosomatic. And I'm not saying that Yolanda's is psychosomatic, but I think there's something else going on with her right now that is mental and emotional and not entire. Like, it's physical now, but it started off as something else.
Wow.
I'm a bad person.
No, you're not. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation.
Listen, she's on a reality show, and they're all performing to some extent. You have to think about why she did this and like what she's hoping to do. And I guess, I mean, first I thought she doesn't need the money, but maybe she does need the money because apparently she's broke.
That's what we're hearing in the tabloids.
This is getting sad.
Anyway,
let's bring it up again with the weird.
Oh wait, do you have your quote?
No, it's too dark. I said it was too dark. It was too dark.
Can I read it?
It was just
privately.
Read it off the air.
It's well, no, I'll. It's Janie said. Ralph says, "Does that mean you're crazy?" And Janie says, "No, that means she was faking it." And then Miss Hoover says, "No, actually, it was a little bit of both." It's sad. She's ill. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, these are the questions we're wrestling with.
All of us in life and on this show, which is life.
But I feel like this conversation is a downer because the show is a downer.
Yes, it is a downer.
And I do remember other seasons that would kind of start off slow, but we desperately need Erica Jane.
Yes, I can't wait. Her and
Save
her
us, Erica.
and Cash. And her and Cash.
Before we move on,
there was a moment, a beautiful moment.
Office. We had to rewind it.
Yeah, we had, I think twice, where David and Yolanda's just coming out of being under from getting the fillings out, and she says, "I have it written down. I have it word for word."
Right?
Yolanda says, "Quote, I don't feel well." David says, "Quote, I can't understand you, but I'm sure what you're saying is I love you."
Now, David, it wasn't about you. And
a shock.
I felt like that's all he hears from her is I love you, when she's really saying, I'm in pain, help me. Please, let's save this marriage.
I don't want to move into this condo.
And he's like, all I'm hearing is I love you. I'll see you later. And then he like walks out to go meet the five tenors.
I didn't think that I could hate him more. Honestly, the season's really changed things for me because I now loathe him even more than I did before. But I've never liked him. Because he campaigned for Romney, right? Like there was that, and then he hit Ben Vereen with his car.
I forgot about that.
That's the thing that
Pippin.
happened.
He hit Pippin, basically.
He hit Ben Vereen with his car.
I did not know either of those facts.
Ben Vereen was drunk and like wandering on the freeway, so it's not really like David Foster's fault. And in fact, Ben Vereen credits this with like his sobriety because it was a wake up call. However, David Foster hit a theater treasure with his car and campaigned for Romney.
I will say I do not like him, but I am attracted to him.
Wow, Danielle.
I stand by that statement from last week.
Of hot house husbands, though, have you guys looked up Erica Jane's husband yet?
No.
Okay, you should do that.
What are we doing?
Why? What
I
do
just
we
think
have
you should
in
look up
store?
Erica Jane's husband. I think he's going to be an interesting addition to the cast.
Wow.
Oh, what does he do? What's his MO?
It's not so much what he does. It's I'd say the age difference is a little bit shocking.
She has like a cocoa iced tea thing, like going on for me. She has that kind of cocoa. What's her last name? Tea?
Cocoa tea. Cocoa tea. Correct.
Cocoa tea.
Is that him?
That's him. Wait. That's the husband.
Guys,
oh my God.
She's married to Jimmy Carter is all I get.
Guys, Google it immediately. Turn us off.
He is.
This is a shock of
I didn't
shocks.
think anyone could be older than Ken, and this man is
I'm
older
sorry to
than
bring that
Ken.
in the middle of the episode. I wanted to know if you'd seen him because it really changed my whole opinion of her.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't have much of an opinion.
Now I have more respect because she's going home to that, and it's like,
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow. Guys, I mean, and then we did see a preview for Potomac, which is coming up very close to my hometown. And I gotta say, I was like, my blood started like pumping. I felt alive again. I felt like, yes, this is what I want. There was a quote someone said, "There's no room for her in our social circle."
Yes.
And she said this with it was like August Osage County or something. It was just so gorgeous and triumphant.
It's hard. It's a fine line to walk. It's like with Brandy. No, because like Brandy got, fired because she was like too crazy or like too dark. And it's like you have to find with Housewives, like you have to get the right mix where they're like not off the deep end, but they're just almost there.
But who is your favorite?
Yeah.
Like of any Housewives? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's so hard.
I know. It's a real Sophie's choice, but I think
I truly love Bethany, which is like such a...
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think she handles herself well.
And
she's funny.
When I was on SNL, that whole thing was going on with Bethany and Jill. You all recall?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was it Jill?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. It was Bethany and Kelly.
Oh.
It was when that whole like I'm a period on here thing happened, and I don't know what I was thinking. I emailed her. I met her at the Natural History Museum event. I emailed her and I was like, I was so deep in it, and this is embarrassing. I was like, I just want you to know, I really felt for you in that scene. It was the most earnest email, and she wrote me back like, thanks. And then she was also like, I love comedy, and I've got some like comedy videos of my own or something. But she's been so generous to me and has sent me so much Skinny Girl products. But I was like very invested at that time. I
feel like you sort of have a relationship with her. I don't know, what it is today. She has sent you stuff.
Caseloads of Skinny Girl. No, she's wonderful. Do you remember the first season of her when she was in that hot tub when she went to Miami? Or she was in the pool and just like leaning on the back, like, I can't get a husband. Like, it was dark days.
I just remember her driving around that Skinny Girl car that she had like made herself.
Like put the decals on.
Yes. And I just feel like she deserves everything she's...
Remember that sad painting her and Jason Hoppy hung? Of like those weird cartoon people like... Ooh.
Again, we're getting real dark.
So yeah, but my point is that I love Bethany.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like or Taylor on Beverly Hills. Like they're a little too unhinged, or Danielle Staub. Like any of them where they
But
have
I will
to get...
say having they showed up Danielle Staub was a personal favorite. Maybe because her name was Danielle and I just related, but there was something of that outsiderness of Danielle Staub that I was like, I relate to.
Season 1, but then it was like, what?
Danielle Staub was like an animal that had been let out of a cage.
So it's like great TV for a little bit, and then they have to like pull it back. But I think that they can overcompensate by making it too boring.
Yeah,
like
but I will say having Taylor
mellow.
back next week or whenever that is looks like another breath of fresh air. Like she
it a breath
excited
of
me.
fresh
Well,
air?
excitement.
Shit about Yolanda.
Yes, but I don't know. She just seems like she's going to feed the flame a little bit.
Wow. So, I mean, that was the episode. We're going to ask Louis a couple more questions.
Burning questions.
We are curious, if you think of the Housewives as kind of Sex in the City, like who's the Carrie?
Oh my God, of any franchise?
Mm-hmm. I think Bethany is Carrie.
I was just thinking
the same thing, and I didn't want to say Bethany again, but she is the Carrie,
She is
right?
the Carrie.
Yeah.
She has struggled. We want her to get her happy ending. She's worked
I want
hard.
her not living in a hotel.
Yes.
And she's like our entry point. She's like the, you know, the one that we're like supposed to relate to the most. Or at one point we did before she became mega rich. But like there was a time when she was like the relatable one.
And who's the Samantha?
It was Brandy.
Yeah, I would say it was Brandy. That's a good. Or you know who it was?
Or Lisa
also?
Vanderpump, really.
Portia? No, she's kind of into sex now. She wasn't. Lisa Vanderpump, because she always has those like, sweetie. You know what I mean? Like she's always kind of like sexual innuendo.
It's the husky voice.
Yeah.
And tonight she said that she wanted her Dancing with the Stars partner to fill her void. Specifically the void that she would feel after Ken dies, which is really,
void.
Yeah.
I know.
Tough void.
So yeah, I think, and then
Miranda.
Oof. I think it was Alex McCord from New York. She had a real Miranda thing going on, kind of pasty
totally
and neurotic and like, hey.
Alex McCord was part of my favorite exchange, which when Luann told her that even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. It was so beautiful.
Maybe Tootie?
Tootie as a Miranda? Yeah, Tootie.
No, maybe Tootie's Kristen Davis. She's Charlotte. Sorry.
Yes.
Tootie's Charlotte.
And I think the Portia that was
Atlanta.
also...
Old Portia.
Old Portia was
I think
Kristen.
Kyle Richards wants to be a Charlotte.
She fancies herself a Charlotte.
I guess-
She
Yes.
fancies herself a Carrie.
Yeah, everyone... People
Right.
who fancy themselves Carries are never Carries.
Yeah.
It's kind of the going rule.
Wow. And if I may ask you, Louis, any housewives that, you know, could interest you sexually?
Housewives?
Yes.
Yeah, that's-
and I think this is a question to all of us.
Yeah.
You know, probably not. I would
even
like
one?
Well, you know, if Lisa Rinna, if Harry Hamlin were there with the miniature horse they're getting for the bed, because they're gonna sleep at the bed with the miniature horse,
yes,
right? So if Harry Hamlin,
Hilarious sitcom
I know.
plot.
That was that one felt like real produced.
Oh, yeah,
Kind of like,
the
here's some
worst.
funny hijinks you girls can get into together. A tiny horse with a pink leash. Let's go.
And the most two characters I've never seen interact.
right? But they have to come up with new pairings.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
yeah, show Lisa Rinna with the horse, or like if Caroline Manzo wanted to yell at me, I could be into that, like maybe a little bit sexually.
Oh,
I hate Caroline Manzo.
really?
She's the only one that I've ever had like any real interaction with.
Do tell.
Yes.
Well, no, I did a story on the Manzos for their
Manzoed with children?
Manzo with children, correct? And I went to their restaurant in Jersey.
Was it good? The brownstone?
No, not the brownstone, the one that Albie and Chris bought.
How was that?
It was totally fine. Mm-hmm. It was better than Villa Blanca, like
How
by
are the
a lot.
bathrooms?
How was the bathrooms? That seems to
Fine.
be
blood-soaked.
They were fine. There were weirdly no tampons in the men's
ponds
bathroom.
everywhere.
No, it was it was good. It was weird. It was fun. I like it was all of them minus the dad, because he was off at the
Albert?
brownstone. Yeah. Albert.
Yeah.
But it was Albie, Chris, and Lauren and Caroline. And I found them to be like kind of charming.
Yeah, no, I agree. Another segment that we would like to do right now is, you know, the housewives have been, the dialogue that happens on the show is poetic. I feel like the best things ever said have been said by these women. They're the Shakespeare of our times. And so sometimes they say something that lasts forever. It's just like a monologue that will be repeated in monologue classes by teenagers forever. And so here's a little throwback, and we like to call this dramatic reenactments. We're not doing imitations. We would never deign to think that we could pull off these characters. But Casey right now is going to read a piece from, I believe it's season 3 of New York City, known to those of you who know the show as Scary Island, when the ladies of New York go off to an island in the Caribbean, and Kelly Ben Simon has a nervous breakdown, is what I'd call it, and starts rambling incoherently. And this is Casey's dramatic
And not a word of this text has changed.
No.
This is word for word what was said. You guys are like so high maintenance. It's like, I really don't want to sit across from Bethany because I think I might be attacked. Like, why does she want to attack me all the time? I threw up the night that I came here because I was thinking Bethany was going to like freaking kill me because she's tried to kill me so many times before. This is white noise, guys. This is all like white noise. Ramona, white noise. Just, can you zip it? Please zip it, guys, because I'm like an encyclopedia. It's time. Oh my God, it's a witch hunt. You guys are like a witch hunt. And it's like freaking Hades in here. What about when you attacked Gwyneth? My friend, Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh my God, Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, put your hair up. It's Al Sharpton. Satchels of gold. You know what? It's been a really lovely evening and I had a really lovely time, but I'm going to excuse myself like an adult and I'm going to come back and I'll do shots. I'm a woman. I have a prerogative. You don't think I listen? I listen. I just don't like the chatter. I don't. And in my defense, that's what makes people crazy about me. Does anyone want a jelly bean or a lollipop? What is this? Like 1979, free to be you and me? Good things for everyone. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was, I'm going to
Thank you, guys.
That was amazing, Casey.
Thanks, guys. I mean, I stumbled at the top, but I mean...
No, it was beautiful. How did you get there emotionally?
I just let myself kind of become unhinged.
Was it the systematic bullying of this room that made you feel like you could get to that place?
It really was. It really, really was.
And that was word for word something that Kelly Ben Simon said to other human beings.
See, she, I think, tipped over into what you're talking about. Just like, that was just...
But her defense of that was so bizarre when she did her whole anti-bullying thing. When she was like, I got pushed to that point. And I was like, honey, no one gets pushed to satchels of gold. That's
still tweeting about it to this day voraciously.
She pushed herself to that point. It was kind of like when Shannon Bedore sort of got kicked out of Heather's house,
Heather's
piano room. She didn't kick her out. She was like, I think you should go. And she was like, you're kicking me out? It was like, wait, no.
Remember when Heather was just running down the streets of New York with that muscular top body?
Yes. You mean Kelly?
Kelly Ben Simon.
Yeah, she would literally like running
in the
through
middle
traffic.
of the street. Yes, it was a beautiful. Satchels of Gold always feels a little bit anti-Semitic to me.
Wow. Really?
There's something very Jew-hatery about it. I'm going to say it.
Well, I was surprised when you said you were attracted to Harry Hamlin after the Halloween incident. And I know I brought that up last week.
He dressed as Sid Vicious, but with a swastika on his shirt, which I don't remember Sid Vicious.
You'll
really?
let
that go. With satchels of gold, you draw the line, but you're fine with swastika?
Have you guys seen Clash of the Titans? Because that was like my 13-year-old me first major crush was Harry Hamlin in Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
So a swastika doesn't bother me so much.
Swastika, you'll move to the side if it's Harry Hamlin.
Not perfect.
None of us are perfect.
Peitzman, this has been a dream. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or you feel you didn't get off your chest?
I feel like we covered a lot. But I'm just happy to be here. And if you guys want to listen to my Smash podcast, it's a lot like this, but about the show Smash. So, tune in. iTunes, SoundCloud.
Yes. And also, thank you all for tuning in again. Thank you, Louis, for being here. And if you guys like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. We could use your ratings if you want to keep hearing this type of
and you
lovely
can
stuff.
Complain about the bathroom.
Yes. The bathroom here, I will say, is lovely. I've been in it. And your bathrooms
Danielle.
are great. It's beautiful.
This has been so fun. Thank you so much to our guest again, Louis Peitzman, senior editor at Buzzfeed. Another wartime correspondent.
Yes.
And next week, I've got to tell you, we have a guest among guests.
Yes.
She's our dear, dear friend, June Diane Raphael of the podcast fame, How Did This Get Made?
And she's also a lover of all things Real Housewives.
And all things Vicky Gunvalson.
Yes. So get ready for her to defend Vicky, because I do not stand by Vicky the way that she does. And I really want to get at what she sees in Vicky that she relates to.
Oh, you'll hear, because everyone hears, whether they like it or not. Guys, signing off. This has been so wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Adam Sachs, and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.